Alright, good afternoon boys and girls. Now we are subtracting mixed numbers. And again, a mixed number is a whole number with a fraction. A whole number with a fraction. So, as I did in my additions video, if you had a chance to watch that, when we add mixed numbers, we'll do the same process as subtracting mixed numbers. We start with the smallest column first, just as you would if you were doing 215 minus 165. You start with your ones, then you go to your tens, then you go to your hundreds. Here, we're going to start with our fractions and then go to our whole numbers. So let's start with our fractions. I'm going to cover these guys up. And I'm going to say 4/6 minus 1/6 is 3/6. And then there's nothing else I can do here except simplify, which I'll do at the end. Now I have my whole numbers. 8 minus 3 is 5. So I can simplify this. Remember, when I simplify, I don't just take the fraction. I make sure I bring my whole number first, and then I simplify my fraction, okay? I know some of my students have just been simplifying the fraction, and this will be their answer, half, but that's not the answer. It's actually 5.5. So make sure that when you're going to simplify, you bring over the whole thing, okay? Now I'm going to do one with regrouping, because this is pretty simple, and you don't have to regroup. It's basic subtraction, keeping your denominator the same. But I'm going to use the same whole numbers. Now I'm going to change my fraction part. I'm going to have 3/10 and 6/10. Alright, so again, I'm going to start with my fractions. 3/10 minus 6/10 I cannot do. So what I have to do is I have to regroup. What I do when I regroup is I go to my neighbor, because I don't have enough here. I got to go to my neighbor just as I would during any other regrouping. And he's going to become a 7 because I'm going to borrow a whole. Remember, this is the wholes house. It's not the ones and the tens. This is the fractions and the wholes. So I'm going to go to the whole and borrow a whole. In this case, a whole is 10 out of 10 because that's the denominator I'm dealing with. Okay, so I borrowed one whole. So now I'm going to add these just as I would if I was doing 21 minus or 210 minus 86. In the ones column I have a 0. I'd go to my tens column and bring that 10 over to my 0 and add them together. So here I have my 3/10 plus my 10/10 is equal to 13/10. You do have an improper fraction, but you're allowed to have it up here. You're not allowed to have it down here. So now I used all this. I can say 13/10 minus 6/10 is 7/10. And now I do 7 because it was 8. I borrowed and gave one over here. 7 minus 3 is 4. I don't have to simplify because I cannot. So I box my answer. Okay? I know that was a lot. We're going to practice one more. All right. So the next one we'll practice is, I'll keep the denominators pretty simple so we don't have to do crazy math. I'll do 12 and 2/5 minus 4, I should say, and 4/5. Okay, so again, start with my smallest column, which is my fractions. Let me erase this up here so it's not confusing. Okay, here we go. So 2/5 minus 4/5 I cannot do. So what do? Go to my neighbor, and I give one whole to this side, which is 5/5. I know my 5/5 comes from my denominator, okay? Make sure you look at your denominator. After I add them, I have 7/5. Now I can subtract. 7/5 minus 4/5 is 3/5. And 11 minus 4 is 7, okay? Just be careful. Start with your fractions first, then do your whole numbers, okay? Good luck.